correlation is one of those things where if you talk about it too much, people very quickly tune out. But we want to talk about it just enough so you can see the importance of it as it relates to really your portfolio. And so what we're going to look at here is one specific diagram or chart that tells us what a typical person's portfolio looks like in terms of correlation to the S&P 500. And you can extend this analysis way beyond just this specific two assets we're comparing here. And basically the point I'm trying to make is if you look at these two lines, if you look at the red slash yellow line, which is your typical 60-40 portfolio, and you compare that to the blue line, which is the S&P 500, you can see over time, even though there's correlation dispersions, overall the trend is the same. Meaning, if equities go higher, if like the S&P goes higher, then broadly speaking, most people's portfolios that have a 60-40 portfolio, and quite frankly, it's much more than that. It's like most people just simply don't make money when the S&P doesn't go higher. Right? Even if you don't have a 60-40 portfolio, meaning 60% equities, 40% bonds, for most people that correlation holds. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I started talking about this maybe about 9 months ago, and very few people were interested in all because everything was just going up and everything was fine. But now that we've seen things correct a little bit, a lot more people are concerned. And I think a lot more people are starting to see, what happens to their portfolio when the S&P just doesn't go up every month and every quarter and every year. And that's really the main point. It's about the correlation, not so much the volatility here that is an issue. So very simply put, if the S&P doesn't go higher, most people's portfolios won't make money. Now, the question I want to ask you is, what if the S&P doesn't go higher or doesn't go a lot higher for like an extended period of time, like over a 5-year period of time? What about over a 10-year period of time? What if the S&P only goes higher 2, 3, 4, 5% per year for the next 5 to 10 years, as opposed to the 15% it's gone to the appreciated, I should say, over the past 10, 12 years per year? What does that look like for your portfolio? And for most people, the answer is it's not a very good answer. Meaning, well, it's a good answer, but it's not a very good outcome, meaning you're probably not going to make money. And we know that more people than ever are relying on their portfolios nowadays to make money, whether they're retired or soon to be retired or working part-time, full-time, and still relying on their portfolio to make money because they've gotten used to it for the past 10 to 12 years. So I want to, first of all, I want to bring this to people's attention. I'd love to see any commentary. If you have any questions or comments on that or thoughts or anything, please let us know. To me, this is the biggest conversation we're having right now with clients, is to get them to start thinking of what this means to their portfolio. And there are ways that you can break this correlation, right? And a simple way is to just basically go into more cash. Now, of course, there's risks to that too, because inflation eats away in your cash. Another thing you can do if you want to be more proactive is you can be a bit more tactical, right? Meaning, when you get into this kind of environment that we're in right now, and I think we're going to be in now for a pretty long period of time, again, multiple years, there are ways to be more tactical. Meaning, when things get extremely oversold, you buy or do option strategies if you want to. And when things get extremely overbought, you sell, right? Or do bearish option strategies. Facebook or Meta here is a good example recently. Big rally, got very overbought, would have been a good time to, instead of just continuing the trend, which was okay if you're in a raging bull market where everything goes higher for 10 years. But, the stock has now corrected about 43, 44%, and is now very oversold at the time of recording this, and maybe it's a bit too oversold. There's an opportunity to maybe buy it for a bit, right? So, again, the importance here of what I'm trying to bring across is that correlation matrix. If you've never thought about this and you are relying on your portfolio to make you money over on an annual basis, let's say, and again, particularly if you're retired or soon to be retired or working part-time or even full-time and you're relying on that, this is an important thing to understand. And what is your strategy if, let's say, the S&P only goes up 2, 3, 4% per year for the next 5, 10 years? most likely your portfolio will do something similar. So again, but there are ways to break that correlation. So we're looking at this and we're teaching people and doing it for people and making sure they understand, that there are alternatives to just being exposed to the broad market. Hope it helps. See you again soon.